Lesson number 8. Let us talk about disaster management. At the end of this session, you will be able to explain the principles of disaster management, describe the 4 pieces of disaster management, and describe activities associated with each phase, express commitment to help the calamity victim. The Philippines is an archipelago consisting of over 7,000 islands and with a total area of 3,000 square kilometers. So now, as of 2022, I think we have 7,641 islands found in the Philippines. Most of these islands are small with only a few large land areas like Luzon and Mindanao. The article Philippines, a country prone to natural disasters, describes how the Philippines have suffered from a number of deadly typhoons, earthquakes, volcanic eruption, and other natural disasters, primarily because of its location close to the Ring of Fire. As I've told you already, typhoon belt in the Pacific Ocean region, where many earthquakes and volcanic eruption takes place. So as I've told you, the Philippines lies in the Ring of Fire. That's why we have a lot of volcanoes here and earthquakes. And because we are a tropical country and the place of the Philippines in the globe is around the equator, so we have warm water causing a lot of typhoons. Disaster management. It is the body of policy and administrative decisions and operational activities that pertain to various stages of a disaster at all levels. It encompasses all the aspects of planning for and responding to disasters, including both pre- and post-disaster activities. Example, this pandemic, we have a lot of policy being provided by our government regarding about pandemic and how to follow like alert level 3. So what are the precautionary measures included in that policy? And our president of the Philippines always decide if we will have lockdown or lockdown in just a particular area or not lockdown, just alert level 3. Yeah. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies defines disaster management as the organization and management of resources and responsibilities for dealing with all the humanitarian aspects of emergencies, in particular preparedness, response, and recovery in order to lessen the impact of disaster. Disaster management aims to reduce or avoid the potential losses from hazards, assure prompt and appropriate assistance to victims of disasters, and achieve rapid and effective recovery. So yan yung kanyang goal. Yan. Either i-reduce or maiwasan natin yung epekto or impact ng disaster as it arises in our country. Disaster management. In the Philippines, poor communities are the ones to suffer the most damage brought about by calamities because of these 5 reasons. First, rapid population growth. Siyempre, pag mas maraming miyembro ng isang pamilya, at sila ay tinamaan ng anumang sakuna, mas malaki yung epekto kasi marami silang miyembro, malaki yung population. Concentration of population in high-risk areas like floodplains, landslide-prone slopes, and seismic zone. Yan. Yung hindi magandang pundasyon ng mga bahay, may hirap yan, di ba? Mga tabla, gawa sa tabla, sa ilalim ng tulay nakatira, sa coastal area nakatira, yung mga relocation or relocating areas, yan. So, mas madaling masira at mas madali silang maapektuhan ng mga disaster. Destruction of marches by real estate developers, yung mga malawakang demolisyon ng mga bahay. Kasi, they are just informal settlers. Wala naman silang pag-aaring lupain. Pero dahil meron tayong batas na pag wala nag-claim ng isang lupa ay aterhan ng mga informal settlers, wala na kayong magagawa. Hindi nyo sila basta mapapaalis. Man-made destruction, deforestation, yan. Yung mga gawa ng tao, paninira, pagputol ng mga puno na nagkakos ng landslide, saka flood. Increasing poverty leading to substandard housing. Yan. Dahil sobrang maraming mahihirap, sobrang maraming tao, Maraming bahay na ginawa lang na pansamantala, mga hindi matitibay ang pundasyon, na hindi sila typhoon resistant. 4 phases of disaster management. Ito yung mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. When we say mitigation, occurs before a disaster take place. Ang purpose ng mitigation ay i-prevent or iwasan or mapababa yung impact or degree of effect ng disaster. Example of activities that may minimize the impact of disasters are the following: identification of areas most prone to typhoon and other calamities. So alamin mo kung ano ba talaga yung pinaka-sentro ng paparating na sakuna. Preparation of educational materials. Yan, paghandain mo sila, turuan mo sila, i-guide mo, bigyan mo sila ng guidelines. Community involvement and mobilization. Yan. Conducting a property inspection to discover ways to fortify the building against damage. So dapat sa simula pa lang bago itayo ang isang instruktura, dapat yung mga ginamit na materyales ay talagang matibay na pang talagang sakuna. Digging water channels to redirect water and planting vegetation to absorb water. Yan. So dapat yung mga drainage natin talagang maayos yung pagkakagawa, yung mga canals. Constructing levees or permanent barriers to control flooding. Yan, yung mga dike na harang sa mga baha. Kailangan pagtibayin. Preparedness. The preparedness phase also occurs before a disaster takes place. This phase includes planning, training, and educational activities for events that cannot be mitigated. Paghandain o ihanda ang mga tao sa anumang sakunang paparating, like developing disaster preparedness plan for what to do, where to go, or who to call for help in a disaster. Exercising plans through drills, yan, yung mga earthquake drill, fire drill, mga tabletop exercise, creating a supply list of items that are useful in a disaster. So, bigyan mo sila ng mga items like when it comes to earthquake, ano ba mga kailangan? So, kailangan merong hampito, merong handtubig lagi, cellphone mo naka-charge para if ever ma-stranded ka or matrap ka sa isang lugar, at least kahit pa paano makakatawag ka ng tulong. O kaya naman, when it comes to typhoon, dapat lahat naka-charge at may stock ka ng food, especially this pandemic na pag nag-lockdown na naman, so dapat meron kang pagkain, meron kang tubig. Response. Response phase occurs in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. During the response phase, business and other operations do not function normally. So ito na yung pagtugon mo after dumaan yung disaster or sakuna, kunwari typhoon. Anong gagawin? Anong action? Dito papasok yung mga rescue operations sa mga na-trap, na-stranded sa isang lugar. Ito yung pagtulong sa kapwa. Yan, yung pagbibigay ng mga relief goods, yung mga rescue operation, rescue missions, conducting search. Recovery. It takes place after a disaster. During the recovery period, restoration efforts occur concurrently with regular operation and activities. Una sa lahat, ang recovery depende sa impact ng sakunang dumating, especially this Typhoon Odette. So maraming bahay ang nasira. Hindi lang mapang mahihirap, even mayayaman, malaki ang naging epekto sa kanila. Sa negosyo, sa kanilang mga kabahayan, lalo na sa mahihirap. So anong una mong dapat gawin? Ang recovery phase, hindi lang yan saglit. Matagalan yan, lalo na pag malaki ang naging impact sa'yo. So una, i-reduce mo yung kanilang stress, i-comfort mo sila na makakaahon din, makakabawi din, makakaraos din, tatayo tayo ulit, like that. Reducing vulnerability to future disaster. Ayan. Contribution in disaster management. In times of natural calamities or man-made disaster, the youth should be willing and ready to extend direct assistance to calamity victims through the following activities. So ang kabataan, bilang kabataan ay maaari tayong makatulong sa ating kapwa in times of calamities or disasters. Una, sorting and loading and distribution of relief goods. Kasi mga kabataan tayo, wala pa tayong trabaho, wala pa tayong perang pwedeng iambag, pwede tayong mag-ambag ng tulong sa kapwa. Yung pagsimpleng pagbabalot ng mga relief goods at pag-distribute, malaking bagay na yun sa ating mga kababayan. Administering first aid treatment to victims, yan. Tulungan mo sila. Serbisyo. Kung marunong ka sa mga first aid, pwede kang tumulong. Yun, pag-comfort, pag-assist sa mga evacuees sa mga rehabilitation area. Disseminating information. Yan, yung simpleng pagpo-post mo sa social media na nanghihingi ng tulong ang isang lugar na malaki ang naging epekto ng sakuna, maaari mong itong i-share, yung mga sharing sa Facebook para sa mga nanghihingi ng tulong or surveying of affected families and area, monitoring and liaising work. Civic action, activities like environment, ecological protection, river and watershed control projects and yan, bilang kabataan, ang pwede mong iambag kung wala ka pang income or pinangkakabuhayan, pwede kang mag-tree planting, pagandahin ang ating kapaligiran. Una sa lahat, maging disiplinado tayo sa ating kapaligiran. Yung simpleng pagtatapon ng kalat sa tamang basurahan ay isang malaking tulong na para makatulong tayo at para i-improve ang ating ecosystem, ang ating environment. Youth Development Agency should establish coordination and linkages to be set up before, during, and after every disaster. By using the NDRRMC operational model, the Youth Development Agency should plan disaster management activities before a calamity strike. They should join or participate in training exercise on disaster and relief operation. See to it that available resources could meet the needs of the chosen activities. Coordinate all activities properly with the city, provincial, and municipal disaster coordinating council. Organize the group. They should assign responsibilities which the members can handle properly. Confidence in what they do is the key to success. Work as a team. Yan, dapat may teamwork in providing effort and services to other people. Okay, so essay. What is the disaster management? Identify 10 government agencies that are involved in disaster management. So I hope you understood already this lesson number 8 about disaster management. Thank you, class.